Hey, this time, Nathan, what are you happy for the system inside?
I don't look you.
No, we just talk for the system inside, Charlie. So the guy say, a power fight. No, a layer kashi. No, a fair presidency. A bad fair, Charlie. How do you say it? Like, you go angry with like that. How do you say that in Ghana?
What?
Don't know about it's so small. I want the big one.
Which one?
You know, the thing you go do for the president, you go annoy with like that.
About what mean la?
Like I say about go walla. Okay. No, a power fight. I can see Charlie, we should forgive him. That it won't happen again. That there's a lot he wants to do together with we, the people of the Republic. Yeah, so we beg we make you forgive him. Yeah. So Charlie, that be the whole matter. That be the whole matter for the system inside. But we have still not heard from the brothers in charge of security for the big place. And that one there, Charlie. What Charlie? Hey, who are you? Anyway, I'll come back to that matter. Abotre. Daily Guide says this morning, MPP decides January 31 for elections. What are they electing? Is it presidential election? Yeah, that's right. Also, behave yourselves in public. Ajina, sorry to NDC. So in private, yeah, what should they do?
So it's the public show we see.
No, they say in private, no, what should they do? In public and in private, that's what you should say. Businessman commends NDC executives. And then First Sky Group aims high. Some other stories on the front page. If you go to the new Crusading Guide, there's a story there that says Ghana to host Africa Prosperity Dialogues. Also, Ghana gas workers unhappy with Gensa deal. Alan is a genius, according to the Statesman. Guta is talking there. If you go to the Ghanaian Times, the big story says, on the occasion of 30th anniversary of the Fourth Republic, let's work to protect our democracy. President is tasking the nation. Also, Kathleen Adi is here on the front page of the Ghanaian Times saying, Ghanaians have a responsibility to uphold the 1992 Constitution. And there's a sad story, tragic story that says 2 burned to death in Potsing in road crash. Also, we are told, fix the country demonstrates in Tamale for new constitution. And then if you go to the graphic business, Godfrey will bring us that quickly. The headlines on the front page.
Well, the graphic business goes to debt exchange program. 4 banks highly exposed. Had been whispered in certain quarters, but it looks like it's come home. Equity market closed 2022 on a positive. Economic upsides of CR7's foray to the dunes. CR7, Ronaldo. It's an economic upsides of his foray to the dunes. And then global recession to hit Ghana badly. If.
Great.
What's happening on the portal?
Well, if you go online, citynewsroom.com says allowing McMill to shoot music video at presidency totally unacceptable. Alex Sedefia is saying there. Other stories, McMill apologizes over Jubilee House video.
McMill Ajibebia.
McMill Ajibebia. More McMill for you. Sami Jenfi says McMill's Jubilee House video a disgrace to Ghana. Oh, Charlie.
What disgrace?
Yeah. Other stories, Ahafo Rexec imposes curfew on Boma over chieftaincy clashes. And Oforiata's takeover of Trade Ministry dangerous. That's according to Akando. Akando, he's speaking there. Okay. If you go to citysportsonline.com, they say Joseph Pencil registers to assist in Genk League win. FA Cup, Nketiah double sets up Arsenal Man City clash. That's in round 4. Okay. Abdulaziz Yakubus Elali move falls through over medical concerns. Hey! And Gareth Bale retires from football at age 33.
Lawrence is also going from.
He's quit international football. So we see what happens now. France's goalkeeping spot is now.
People wanted Mike Manya, so he has come. You see the difference.
No, I'm not saying so. I'm only saying that I'm quite surprised Lawrence is quitting. I'm very surprised.
36. Anyway,
all right. If you go to other
goalkeeper to be leaving the scene.
yeah,
Yes,
but I mean he's won the
I'll
World
take you
Cup.
to,
He's down to World Cup finals. Anyway,
my Joy Online.
Yes.
I'll take you to my Joy
Take us
Online.
there.
McMill is dominant there. I think I just have to start with McMill today. It's everywhere. But the one story they also have there's that Martin Pebu leads over 200 individual investors to engage government over debt exchange program. There's an interesting McMill headline here. I was excited my daughter insisted you come and say hello.
Yeah.
Akufo-Addo McMill's visit to Jubilee. Charlie just started it for me.
so okay,
He didn't make the papers, but he's on everywhere online. So start from
so
McMill.
which of the McMill stories do you want to hear?
Citi Newsroom has quite a few.
Okay,
Let's
so
start from his apology.
Okay, let's start from the apology. Let's start from the apology. They get feed on. No problem. So
she gonna afford
yeah. Okay, so the story says American rapper McMill has rendered an unqualified apology to Ghanaians following his video shoot at the Jubilee House.
Okay.
The rapper received a massive backlash after he released the video meant to be a precursor to his new song on Instagram. In a tweet, McMill said, quote, "My apologies to the people. We're still gonna push to make the connection between black people in America and Africa."
We're still gonna push.
Yeah, I'm just reading the tweet as I see.
me too.
What I'm trying to do is more than a video. You should see more coming soon.
Innit?
My apologies to the office of the president also, end quote. The story goes on to say, he said the video was not in any form or shape meant to disrespect Ghanaians. And the tweet has been embedded in the story. So for those who want to read it, you can go and read
All right.
it.
We have a couple of reactions, and it says that this one is from the president. If you go to my Joy Online, and you also have a couple of others on Citi Newsroom. So let me just take this one. It says the president Akufo-Addo has expressed his excitement over the American rapper McMill's visit to the Jubilee House.
Okay.
And this was in welcoming McMill to the Jubilee. It says, I'm very excited that my daughter, Jan Kroma, insisted that you come and say hello to me.
Insisted.
Yeah.
I see.
So he said that he heard about the performance that night. It happened at a time a lot of places in West Africa and a lot of difficulties. And here we have 100,000 or something more coming out to party to listen to you and enjoy themselves. It is extraordinary.
Okay.
And it says supposedly the rapper used this visit to the Jubilee House as an opportunity to film a teaser for his music video, which is what has led to the trouble.
Yep.
So what's Alexander Befia saying?
Well, Alexander Befia, he's a former deputy chief of staff. He's disappointed in the Akufo-Addo government for allowing McMill to shoot a music video at the presidency. McMill and his crew were seen in a viral video rapping explicit lyrics and dancing at the Jubilee House. His visit to the presidency came after he performed at the Afro Nation concert on December 29, 2022. While at the Jubilee House to visit the president, the rapper and his crew took several videos at the presidency for his new song. Some Ghanaians took to social media to express their disgust over the developments because those who attempt to film at security installations are prevented from doing so and molested in some cases. And Alexander Befia was speaking on Eyewitness News, and he says, quote, "In the current climate we are in now, where Ghanaians are looking up to the government to create a better economy for them, some things are unnecessary. Not long before this, we had foreigners in this country and we saw people boo at the president. His advisors should have taken a cue from this and also had in mind that we were being watched. This was so unnecessary and is unacceptable in any shape or form," end quote.
So why is it that despite this uproar, over 24 hours after this, government communication...
You want them to say something?
But say something. How can you not say something?
They haven't seen anything to say something. They see something, say something. It doesn't apply to this one.
That one.
No.
I saw a tweet from a member of parliament.
No.
Part of government.
So you see, on this note, I'm endorsing...
Say something.
No, that one is one. And then some judges' position that you just wake up one morning and say, "Hey! Hey!" Then you go back to sleep. I mean, over 24 hours, somebody should say something.
What do you want them to say?
What do you want them to say?
Oh, tell it
That we have seen.
or maybe we have removed a few people because of the...
No.
Or some people have been sanctioned. Something.
Expectations are too high.
No, you see the point. If they come and say it, you ask questions, so they won't say it at all.
We should continue.
Come and answer the questions.
You tell us.
But you're from Cuba, you know you are my good friend. Right?
Try this cooking.
Let me take you to the Daily Graphic. Consolidating democratic gains. Reject violent politicians. The NCCE is talking. Timothy Nyengbe, the chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, Kathleen Adi, has called on Ghanaians to reject politicians who resort to the use of violence and disruptive tendencies to gain political power as the country heads to the 2024 general elections. Now, Ms. Adi said perpetrators of political violence should no longer be allowed any space to operate because apart from posing serious security threats to the country, the activities deny the citizenry the right leaders who could help consolidate the country's democracy. And there's a direct quote here attributed to her speaking in commemoration of our 30th anniversary as a constitutional republic under the Fourth Republic. And the quote says, "Fellow citizens, it is our duty to punish politicians who employ insults, intimidation, and violence in their quest for power and position. Let us deny them what they seek so that they will learn their lessons."
Let me talk about the debt exchange program a bit because our money is there. Two stories, one on the front page of the Graphic Business and then one on My Joy Online. The one on the front page of the Graphic Business says that debt exchange program for banks highly exposed. Says that 4 Ghanaian banks are feared to be highly exposed as government pursues an aggressive debt exchange program to balance off its books and secure a $3 billion bailout from the International Monetary Fund. The banks, 3 indigenous ones and a multinational, have been overstretched due to their overexposure to government debt securities as a major source of safe investments. Banking sector analysts have revealed that although all the 22 banks in the country are exposed due to the ongoing debt exchange program, the 4 banks, however, are in a distressed state. According to Synergy Ghana, an investment advisory firm, the 4 banks had an average of 54% share of their assets specifically invested in bonds, thereby exposing them badly. So, that's the problem they have with this. And if they have problems, means a lot of people have problems.
Exactly. You know, the last time there was a story that they were laying off workers.
Yes. Now, Martin Pebu, lawyer, is leading over 200 individual investors to engage the government over the program. Says that the private legal practitioner Martin Pebu is leading about 200 individual investors to engage the government over the inclusion of individual bondholders in the debt exchange program. Mr. Pebu noted that these investors do not want any haircut on their matured investments. And it looks like they might test what the law says.
All right.
On the matter.
Let's stay with the area of the debt exchange program. Something related here that's on page 30 of the graphic, and it says that Ghana to pay more for IMF bailout, and the story says Ghana would have to pay more for an International Monetary Fund program after the Bretton Woods institutions recently hiked its interest rate on special drawing rights, SDR, from 0.8% to 2.99%. Now, the increase means that Ghana and all member countries of the IMF who seek to contract a loan from the fund will now have to pay more. Now, the new rate took effect on January 6, 2023. Meanwhile, let me take you to page 18. There's a story here by Yao Kufo Senya, which quotes Bridget Jogbanuku as saying the lack of discipline, honesty affecting development. And the story says the 2020 presidential candidate of the Progressive People's Party, Bridget Jogbanuku, has said that one of the banes of the country is the lack of values such as discipline, honesty, and responsibility. According to her, people in the country rather gave credence to wealth without carefully regarding how they made it. Now, that, she said, was one of the factors that hindered the development of the country.
Well, talking about all of this, the person who's very central in all of this is the finance minister.
Yes.
Now, the finance minister is the subject of some displeasure on the side of Kwabena Minta Akando. For Jabosu. Now, Honorable Minta Akando is saying that Ken Ofori-Atta should have been kicked out of the finance ministry. Because he didn't do a good job, but he's been given another job as the trade and industry ministry. Now, let's not forget, following Alan Martin's resignation, Ken Foyata has been given caretaker role of that place. And Kwabena Minteh Akando, MP, says, quote, there are a lot of reasons why this finance minister can be described as selfish and greedy. Go and find out the faces behind the enterprise insurance company and go and look out for the number of contracts they have gotten from the finance ministry. And then he goes on and on. So essentially, he's saying that the finance minister is not fit for purpose and that he has a lot around him and should not have been given the chance to handle the trades ministry now that there is no substantive minister.
Okay. Let me give you a couple of political stories quickly from the Daily Guide on page 3. The MPP decides January 31 for elections. The MPP says it will decide the exact day and date to organize its primaries to elect its flag bearer for the 2024 elections on January 31, 2023. So that's not too far away.
That's when they will make the decision.
Yes. And then the founder of the Perez Chapel International on the same page, Archbishop Charles Ajinasari, has asked the newly elected national executive members of the NDC to put up their best behavior in public as they are a government in waiting.
I see. Talking about political parties, former energy minister and MPP flag bearer hopeful Boakye Jako has urged the party hierarchy to be cautious in selecting dates for its primaries. Now, this story is on citinewsroom.com. The MPP stalwart believes getting the dates wrong may cost the party in the 2024 general elections. This follows a statement by the party hierarchy debunking reports that November 23 this year had been selected as the date for its presidential primaries. In an article, Boakye Jako noted that the party ought to eschew any practice that would disadvantage any candidate. And he was speaking with Citi News' Hansen Ajiman, and he said, quote, if we, in our wisdom and good judgment, could fix a date for the national elections so that this confusion about the EC setting a date to the advantage or disadvantage of the other, why don't we specify the dates for our various elections? Let's be cautious in selecting dates for primaries. Let's not think about the interest of a select few, but the greater interest, end quote.
Okay, let me take you to page 13 of the Ghanaian Times. There's a story there, pray for success of Ghana. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. So, Dr. Bawumia says that we should pray for the peace, for the success of Ghana. And the story says the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has called on imams and Muslim leaders in Tamale, the northern regional capital, to continue praying for the success of Ghana. Now, he said it was only prayers that could give every leader the chance to lead the people he served. Now, the Vice President made the statement here in Tamale when he handed over a renovated central mosque to the chief imam and the leaders of the mosque. If you go to page 3 of the same newspaper, there's a story that says 4 arrested for allegedly possessing 104 bags of weed. Now, Charlie, Anita Nyako Irenchi, reporting for the Ghanaian Times, says that 4 persons have been arrested by the police for allegedly possessing 104 bags of substances suspected to be narcotics at Nolonya, near Sege, in the Greater Accra region last Thursday. Now, until Prince Felix Owusu, Jerry Quote, and Deity Meshach were arrested. Meshach, imagine, look at the biblical name too. Were arrested while discharging sacks of the compressed substance suspected to be Indian hemp into a boat at the seashore at Sege. Now, according to the police statement issued on his website during the arrest, Meshach, who is the assembly member for the area, he's the assembly. You know, when you go to the villages, they call them assembly. They don't say assembly member, they say assembly. So he's the assembly of the place. Attempted to bribe the police with 20,000 Ghana cedis. So brothers command money like that. 20,000 Ghana cedis to bribe. He said, the loaded truck with the substance have been impounded and at the Tema Regional Police Headquarters together with the attempted bribe money. So they collected the money too from him. Now, the statement said the Ashaiman Circuit Court has remanded the accused in police custody and expected to reappear on January 23 of this year. I think good job to the
every time these stories pop up, the script always says substances suspected to be. They never come back to say, "Oh yes, we tested and it's confirmed."
Happens in court.
So they have to test it and send a report to the courts, and the courts will decide.
Let me give you a couple of quick stories. So, Data Bank is reopening offices today.
We are going for our money.
The new crusading guide on page 10. Sorry, on page 4.
I'm going.
Yeah, said that Data Bank is opening its independent branches on 10 January. So those of you who have business with them, you can go there. And then also, Ghana gas workers are unhappy with the Gensa deal. Now, that Gensa deal has been running around for some time now. And Crusading Guide is reporting that the workers of the Ghana National Gas Company have continued to express their displeasure about the way the gas industry is being managed by the energy minister.
Okay.
Gas currently contributes about 75% of Ghana's current energy supply mix and is known to be cheaper and less environmentally offensive as compared to liquid fuel and coal. In a statement issued by the workers, they have read to the president that through his own vision, he has seen to the indigenization of Ghana Gas, which has saved the country over $2.8 million a day. And then they then go on to talk about why they are not happy about this new Gensa deal and why it's going to cost Ghana money. Now, speaking of which, on the political side, we are expecting another resignation either today or tomorrow. Agriculture. Yeah.
Now, if we go to the center spread, there's a very important story in the daily graphic that I want to bring to your attention quickly. Auxiliary nurses granted amnesty. We have a shortage of nurses around the country. Now, McLean Kofi reporting for the graphic says auxiliary nurses who studied for higher certificates without prior approval of the government have been given amnesty. Now, as a result, nurses who genuinely acquired general registered nurses certificates and their equivalent will be upgraded from auxiliary to professional nurse status. Now, the move is part of measures by the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Health Service to ensure that the proportion of auxiliary and professional nurses is balanced to improve health delivery in the country. Now, it goes on to give you some other details. And if you're interested in this particular space, please grab a copy of the daily graphic, page 17.
Okay.
The details.
Let me say good morning to
one quick story.
Honorable Frank Anodompe. His Twitter handle is a very interesting one.
That is where all the action is this morning.
What's happening?
His Twitter handle is normally very interesting. So I'm just saying good morning.
You are saying good morning.
Good morning to him.
So he's a majority chief weapon.
I have to ask you who handles his Twitter account. Does he tweet himself?
Okay.
Because sometimes the person.
So wait.
The person goes.
Hey.
Guys, we'll review that on tech and social media.
We'll review that. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
From here, we are going for our money.
My money.
You have forgotten about the milk and the milk.
I know that.
It is money you're going to chase.
Because before the people change their mind.
You don't want to see something and say something. You want to collect money.
All right. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Godfrey. That was the newspaper review. Coming up next is the City Business News. Coming up next is the Citi Business News, brought to us by MTN. Now, MTN is saying that you can use Momo for all your transactions and get amazing gifts. Now, this season of surprises is bringing amazing activities and giveaways such as shopping vouchers, data, airtime, speed shopping on MTN Pulse, and many other things to spice up your life. You can also get 200 MB data and 30 minutes airtime when you receive 500 cedis or more from family and friends abroad. It's the season that keeps giving, only on MTN. T's and C's applied. And the Citi Business News also brought to us by Goyle, Access Bank, and Enterprise Life. Nete is here. She has all the latest from the world of business.
Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Girl, Enterprise Life, Your Advantage, Access Bank, More Than Banking, and powered by your most comprehensive business news website, citibusinessnews.com. Coming up, tax analyst calls for more measures to rope in informal sector into the tax system to improve revenue generation, and stakeholders push for robust policy directives to reduce importation of rice into the country. To our stories now. And tax analyst Geoffrey Okanse is projecting that governments could generate about 9 billion Ghana cedis with the implementation of the withdrawal of the discount values at the ports. He explains that the amount was lost at the ports annually due to the application for markdown of benchmark values and other custom rulings. Geoffrey Okanse has been speaking to Citi Business News.
So I'm saying that we can rely on these provisions that the minister announced plus more. First, talk about the removal of the benchmarks, the 30% discount on import values of general goods, and then the removal of the 10% discount on home delivery value of used vehicles. The first point to make is that we lost about 9 billion when we actually applied that discount and granted it to importers. So if you automatically would speak to figures, then it means when you withdraw it, you are going to be expecting to recoup about 9 billion plus more when you put such policies in place. And automatically, it would also mean that you would want to see whether the policy is in line with our constitution and then also international trade agreements, which is perfectly in line, that the World Trade Organization's own rules allows for the country to apply.
He also urged government to intensify tax collection from the informal sector, with particular reference to business activities that are carried out during the night.
I think we should focus on the night and dawn economy. The revenue mobilization in Africa, we've always said that, look, there are people who do their business in the evenings and at dawn. For example, these women who cut goods from the hinterlands, they bring goods worth about 50,000, 100,000 and 60,000 TDs worth of plantain, cassava from their cutting of big truck loads of foodstuffs, and they do their business at dawn. You go to Dome Market, you go to Malata, all these people come at dawn, and then they offload it to the small mini trucks, and they are done with business by 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., by which time the tax authorities have not started their work. And this economy is a thriving economy. When you pass through Circle, you pass through the various night markets we have. People sell phones along the Tito lane in Circle at night. And these people are doing good business. All these market spaces to come with taxation, and they have been left off the hook.
That was tax analyst Geoffrey Okanse. A former president of the Association of Ghana Industries, James Asari J, is calling for robust policy directives towards local rice production. His call comes a few days after Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta expressed government's commitment to reverse Ghana's excessive importation of rice. Ghana has imported rice worth over $1 billion since 2017, a development government hopes to end by 2023 through strategic partnerships in Ghana's agri sector. Speaking on the issue, James Asari J called for more investments and ready markets for players within the rice value chain to boost the agric industry.
The current situation of the country demands bold decisions from government and policymakers. And for that matter, we think that what we're looking for or what we need as a country is boosting local production, supporting indigenous Ghanaian businesses, particularly in manufacturing. One key area which we've made strides in the past 3 to 5 years had been local rice production. Rice production in the country, has moved from a mere 50,000 metric tons to over 400,000 metric tons in a year, in just 3 years, which means that when local producers are supported, definitely we can bridge the import gap. At the moment, we have 400,000 or probably 450,000 metric tons. We need, the demand is 1.2 million metric tons plus. Now, how can we bridge this gap of over 700,000 metric tons? And what we need to do is what we've seen local producers do in the past 3 years. Government must come out boldly, support commercial agriculture, support industrialists who want to go into agriculture.
That was a former president of the Association of Ghana Industries, James Asari Ejay. The Insurance Brokers Association of Ghana, IBAG, is calling for a periodic review of insurance premiums in the country. According to the association, this is crucial to ensuring insurance companies can raise enough revenue to pay adequate claims to their clients. This comes on the back of calls for a halt in the increment of premiums by the National Insurance Commission, which took effect on January 1, 2023. Speaking to Citi Business News, President of IBAG, Shaibu Ali, believes frequent adjustment of the premiums is critical to ensuring they reflect the current economic situation in the country.
The ideal situation should be that, it should be very regular. As inflation goes up, as the exchange forex goes up, we should look at this maybe on a year-to-year basis so that it remains relevant. But if you do this and it takes you the next 6 years to come back, you cannot get a jump that would be acceptable to the insuring public. They would cry over it. And so that's what is creating the problem. We should be realistic to be able to increase these when the times are changing. But anytime there's an attempt to increase it and then we have to backslide because of the reaction from the public, it comes back to hurt us more.
That was the president of the Insurance Brokers Association of Ghana, Shaibu Ali. Fund management company DataBank will reopen some of its branches today after shutting down on December 22, 2022. The shutdown was as a result of physical and verbal attacks on its staff by some of its clients. The staff of the fund management company resorted to working remotely and engaging clients on digital platforms since the closure, but the company, in an email and text message to its clients on Saturday, January 7th, said it will reopen its branches in phases. Speaking to Citi Business News, Group Chief Marketing Officer at DataBank, Gillian Hammer, noted that other branches will be reopened on January 16th.
We are doing it in 2 phases. First, we will open the main branches, and there are 9 of those. They will be reopened on January 10th, so that's Tuesday morning. So that would be our head office in Accra, Cape Coast, Ho, Kofredra, Kumasi, Sunyani, Takrady, Tamale, and Hema. So we'll do that as phase 1. Then the following Monday, which is January 16th, we will then reopen all the partner locations that we have within GT Bank and UBA. So that would cover, there are 6 of them in Accra. Then there's Ashaiman, Kaswa, Takwa, Wa, and then KNUST. So we're doing it in 2 parts.
Before you closed the branches on 22nd, I think the message, the email that you sent us was that there was verbal abuse on your staff. How do you intend to address this going forward?
There is, honestly, until we get the required liquidity, and as an industry, until we get it, we will not be able to pacify clients who are angry. So we will really just have to continue to manage it.
That was the Group Chief Marketing Officer of Data Bank, Gillian Hammer. Now on the interbank foreign exchange markets where banks trade amongst themselves, the dollar remained unchanged and is selling at 9 cedis. The British pound remained unchanged and is selling at 10 cedis 82 pence West, and the euro remained unchanged and is selling at 9 cedis 5 pence West. However, at some forex bureaus, the dollar is going for 11 cedis 85 pence West, the pound is going for 14 cedis, and the euro for 12 cedis 5 pence West. Let's now join Gideon Amunichi of Data Bank for the latest updates on the stock market.
Last week, new gold emerged as a sole gainer on the bears, trading higher by 6 cedi 20 pence West to 224 cedis. However, the stock market indices closed unchanged, maintaining their year-open levels as there were no price changes in their constituent stocks. This week, we expect the prices of Gold Ghana and Ecobank Ghana to decline as demand for these shares outstrip their supply on the market.
That was Gideon Amweniche of Data Bank. And that does it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Girl, Enterprise Life Your Advantage, and Access Bank, More Than Banking, and powered by your most comprehensive business news website, citibusinessnews.com. My name is Neti Ajao. Have a good business day.
the headlines, Ghana's Black Galaxies play Mozambique today in a warm-up game ahead of the commencement of the CHAN tournament. Gareth Bale announces retirement from football, and in the NBA, there were wins for the Nuggets, the Kings, and the Boston Celtics. Let's start off with some club news, and Kumasi Asante Kotoko's defender Sharif Mohammed says the current squad of the club is better than Prosper Nate Ogum's team from last season. Now the defending champions will play Tamale Cities tomorrow at the Aliu Mahama Stadium after Sunday's draw with Great Olympics. Sharif, who joined the Porcupines last August, believes that Kotoko has more quality to dominate their opponents.
This current team, as I can see, is better than last year. You know, the quality we have this year is better than last year what we had, because last year, our games were based on 3 players, Mbella, George, and Isaac Okon. So this year, there are more quality than last year. We can get a result in Tamale because Tamale City, they are not that organized. So we can get a result there. In the 3 away games, inshallah, we're going to win all.
So Sharif Mohammed speaking there. Let's get to some more Ghana Premier League related stuff. In Bibiani Gold Stars and league leaders Adriana Stars played out a goalless draw at the Dons Park in the last game day of the Ghana Premier League. Now this means Adriana extends its point gap over Hartlepool, Kotoko and Accra Lions to 2 points, while Gold Stars remain in 5th position. Head coach of Adriana Stars Parkway Fabian expressed satisfaction with the point end.
I'm okay with it, and I'm okay with the point. We are taking a match at a time. We've just played 11 matches, and there's, I think, how many matches more to go? So many matches more to go. So we can't talk about clinching the league title now. But then we are going back home. Thursday we are playing Kotoku Royals. We hope to take the 3 points and then stretch the lead on the league.
Now, Michael Osei is also head coach of Bibiani Gold Stars. He described the draw with Adriana Stars as a fair result.
I would say it was a difficult game. Very tactical, pure tactical game. Both teams were very tactical discipline. I think it was balanced game, but I think in the second half we were better. We were attacking the opponent more than they were.